Hi, my name is Frank Robinson. I'm the founder of a company by the name of Product and Market Development, Inc., based in Santa Barbara, California. We do a lot of business in Silicon Valley, Boston, some in Texas, and basically working for high-tech companies and venture capital firms who put us into their portfolio companies. The way I got started doing this is that I had been an engineer. I had been head of sales and marketing for the company that I was an engineer for. And in that process of being head of sales and marketing, I made some of my own product mistakes. I left the company, hung out a shingle, and was fortunate enough to meet the investment group of Santa Barbara, a venture capital firm that invests only its partners' money, which is an important causal history that explains why I do what I do and why it's unique. The founder of that firm said, "Frank, I've invested money into a startup. We've got 10 people in Silicon Valley building a robot for use in biotech labs and pharmaceutical labs. I made the investment believing that the company could do $100 million in 5 years. We're in the process of recruiting a CEO. We will then look to get other major venture capital firms involved in the company. And for that, I need to answer 4 questions with empirical data. Is the market real? How big is the market? Does the product fit the market? And what are the sales costs?" Reese, the principal of the firm, wrote down those questions on a yellow legal tablet. And along the left-hand margin, he wrote down the things that he wanted me to do to answer those questions. Interview industry experts, analyze the competition. But mainly, Frank, it's May 1st, and I want you to test sell this prototype to 35 companies in the next 60 days. We've got a head of sales and marketing. He can be helpful. I showed up at the company. He made it a mandate that this work shall be done. It's more important than any other single thing that we're doing, including product development. So I sat down to work with the head of sales and marketing. He refused to do it. He said, "You know, my God, I've got a reputation to protect. This prototype is something that I can't possibly take out to my customers. I would be embarrassed. It would hurt my reputation." He was fired because he wasn't into this boot camp process that we were starting. Anyway, went through that process, hit 35 customers on the 60th day, and discovered that this prototype isn't a prototype. It's a breadboard. It requires 2 more years of development to get it ready for the market. The market will not sustain the company to become a $100 million company in 5 years, but it can become a $35 million company. So I was given the job to sell the company. Because I'd been in pharmaceutical labs and biotech labs for the last 60 days, in and out, I knew what product this robot would sit next to. It would sit next to a Beckman Spinco centrifuge, and it would sit next to an Applied Biosystems DNA sequencer. So what did we do? I called the head of Beckman Spinco division in Palo Alto. "Good afternoon, Spinco." "Hi, who's the head of Spinco?" "That's Roger Noveski." "Transfer me, please." "Hello, Mr. Noveski's office." "Hi, is Roger in?" "Yes, he is. May I say who's calling?" "Frank Robinson." "What's it in regard to?" "I have a company that I think he'd like to buy." "Just a moment." "Hi, this is Roger." I told him, "Come over and see the company." He came over with his team in 2 days. That was July 15th. On September 15th, 2 months later, the company was sold. Eventually, it became a $100 million plus company. The brand, the Biomech, became a global brand. The company, in the 5th year, hit $35 million plus 6%. The founder of the company who got acquired with the company said, "I know my bonus was tied to it." Since then, now 25 years later, we've worked for major international brands, Cisco, IBM, HP, under the sponsorship of venture capital firms like Foundation Capital, Mayfield, Interwest, Kleiner Perkins. We've worked for hundreds of startups. We've seen startups go from a two-person team on day one, like Ed Iacobucci and Randy Wood, the founders of Citrus Systems, that went public as Citrix Systems. We worked with Klaus Schauser, who started Citrix Online, Citrix GoToMeeting. Another company, one of my favorites, started by William Sharp, who won the Nobel Prize in 1992 for the capital asset pricing model. His CEO, Jeff Maggioncalda, and his finance man, Chris Jones. I've seen them go from day one, two guys in an office and myself, to Goldman Sachs taking the company public 2 years ago. The process of customer development, the process of synchronizing product development and customer development sounds like a business process. It's way more than that. It's a magical process. When your team goes and meets with the customer's team, one at 9 a.m. in the morning, one at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, two more on the next day, two more on the next day, 6 customers back to back. That is a magical experience. You go from vague notions about what customers might want to specific hard-nosed facts and figures. What has to be in the product, what doesn't have to be in the product, how much you can charge for the product, how often they'll use it, who's going to use it, why they're going to use it, what the value propositions are. This is the core of synchronous development. Knowing these skills and this again, I cite magic moment. That's what you're going to learn how to do. We're providing you a straight path of what customers you're going to go to and what you're going to say, do, and ask once you're in front of customers. That is the video workshop that you're in for next.